Hi there, and welcome once more. I have loaded here an amazing game that I have stumbled upon Steam. It's a very interesting wargame. It's called Hex of Steel, a very interesting name. This game is portraying the units as if it is a traditional wargame, tabletop wargame. I'm going to discover this game with you. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to like this. I don't have any knowledge about the mechanics. I've read a little bit of the manual. You can find the manual. Actually, you can click here and it's going to send you to the page where you're going to see the manual. It's a very interesting manual with a lot of mechanics, but as we go into this, we're going to be learning what is this about. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of options here. Of course, we all know what these options mean. This is the v6.7.0. And by the way, this is the demo version. Is not the actual full release, is a demo. But it's interesting because I like when the developers gave us the opportunity to try the product. Perhaps, who knows, perhaps this is going to become something that is going to be very, very nice for me. And in the future, perhaps I could bring this to some sort of series. Who knows? So let's see first. Leaderboard. We have rankings for all the, as far as I understand, these are the actual scenarios. We see here the settings, which is important. It's important to understand what we are capable of controlling on the actual game. So here we see units, sounds, weather, music, UI, the sound of everything. These are my own and personal settings. The unit size, you're going to see, if you put the unit size all the way up, they're going to be, the actual representation of the units are going to be very, very big for my tastes. Here we see a sort of difficulty, resolution, of course, this is my resolution. We have winter damage, an interesting mechanic here. It says how many HP are removed per tile when moving through the harsh condition of winter. We're going to leave it as it is. The income modifier AI 100% and income modifier for the humans is going to be equal. Then we have the random damage modifier. Now this by default comes in 0, but if you hover here, it says random damage added on top of the final damage dealt by any unit. For realistic purposes, keep the values under 10. So if this is a realistic value, I'm going to put it in 5, just to make it a little bit more balanced. In terms of gameplay, we have historical focus, of course, because that's the whole point here, historical focus. We have weather, complex supply system, morale. We have morale in this game, which is something that as well interests me a lot. Research units, we can research technologies, manpower, realistic planes. Partitions we have as well, as you can see. Producing units take time, of course. One more type for planes, overrun and policies. We're going to be seeing all of that, I hope, in the main UI screen. In terms of graphics, we're going to see clouds, fog of war, weather particles, borders. This I'm not sure what it is. Perhaps means that we can rotate the map. Now I have modified this. These are custom settings. I don't remember exactly what are the default settings, but if I'm not mistaken, I have changed some of them. Left, right, only rotation. Here more contrast. But it says when you select a unit, whether the icon uses standard rate or red for better spotting. Because it's my first time, and we're going to see everything for the first time. Hopefully there are some of you that already know the game. Hide stats on counters. This is the stats of the units will be hidden. This I think is going to be important for us to see. Unit is done indicator. These all units that have moved and attacked will turn gray for easier spotting, which is pretty good. And units that can move blink. Okay. Terms of camera, move camera with edges, move camera with left click, and camera follow AI moves. This is as if we are in the total war games, following the AI moves. And here we have public chat off, of course. We want to show the game to show us tooltips, show tile info, unit suffix, show unit suffix on counter. Automatically hide pop-ups, fast AI. Now, there's an interesting thing here, slow AI mode. This one is going to show you every single movement of the AI very slowly, so you're going to be able to follow up. For this demo, we're going to put it in fast AI. This is fast AI just for the allies. Quick movement. It says here that units will instantly move to the tile you clicked on. No animation will be played. Something that we don't want. Realistic unit names, of course, and disable vanilla tracks. Ignore base game soundtracks. Now, I'm going to disable the music. And we see here Mod Manager, which is connected with the Steam Workshop. Here we see a lot of editors. We can see here a map editor. We have a tutorial. We can see here the different maps. We can search for a map, let's say Berlin, 1945. We can see unit editor. We can see here country filter. So let's say that we want the Brazil, and we see here light infantry. We're going to see here the picture. Now these are the cards, and apparently here you can change whatever you want from the cards. Then we see here heroes editor, depending on the country. So let's say naval for Canada. Now it doesn't appear anything. Tile editor, country editor, can create new country here. It looks very interesting, of course. Then we have the play button here. Here we see multiplayer. We see new campaign, standalone scenarios. It says here that it has Europe, Africa, Pacific, and many more scenarios. Now, this is very complete because this is the whole World War II timeline. So it's very, very complete and very amazing how this game has such a complete list of different battles and scenarios and campaigns. We can, of course, load here and back. Now, we're going to be doing the standalone scenarios, but before that, I'm going to show you the campaigns. We have Germany. We have the option to select different fronts and different dates. We see the Eastern Front for Germany in 1939. We see the campaign of Poland, and we see here an example of the map. I know, up to this point, for those that haven't seen these before, I am pretty sure that you are getting excited about this because it looks pretty nice, pretty neat. Then we have different dates. The Western, for example, 1940. See the campaign of the Low Countries. Now you see Operation Sonnenblume, this and that. Operation Husky in the part of the Germans. In the part of USA, we have the Eastern for the 1943 Operation Husky, which is actually the campaign that the actual scenario that I'm going to be playing. And then you have Great Britain, Soviet Union, and Japan. As you can see, you have a lot of options here. And what is a campaign? It says here, a campaign is a series of scenarios that have been historically recreated in the game, in which you will keep the units you buy, which are going to be called core units. Now this concept, I have seen this concept in different other war games, so it's pretty neat that this one has this from one scenario to another. This concept, I have already seen that in Combat Mission. So we're going to go to you can see here standalone scenarios. We can do quick games, tutorial, but I'm going to go, as you can see, campaigns, you see here. I'm going to go for you can see that we can choose Spanish Civil War as well. Stalingrad, it's very, very complete. We have Hungary, we have all the dates of Europe, the end of the war, Eastern Front, we have Crimea, we have Battle of the Bulge, Battle of France, Battle of Anzio, the Africa Corps, 1942. We have as well here Minsk, Moscow. You can see here how this shows you the countries that are involved in such operations. Now, in contrast with the campaign, here you can configure which country you want to play. You can even play with Italy, if you so wish, countries that are not present in the actual campaign, as far as I can understand. You can even play as the Philippines. Then you have as well here the Soviets and the Germans, the Winter War. So we can play all the scenarios for the actual World War II. For the video, we're going to go and we're going to play the Italy 1943. And here we're going to be, now you can be just one of those. So we're going to be United States. Here you select which is the one that you're going to control. And then the other guys are going to be AI. Of course, you can change to human. So someone else, I believe, could play in the same screen. Or actually, I believe that if I select, let's say, human here, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play it, even though I haven't selected. However, we're going to be just the Americans, and we're going to go for Italy 1943. So let's start. Now, of course, we're going to be playing the Operation Husky, which is July 9th, 1943. So let me read here what is going to be the Operation Husky. Allied invasion of Sicily, codenamed Operation Husky, was a major campaign in which the Allies took the islands of Sicily from the Axis powers. It began with a large amphibious and airborne operation, followed by a 6-week land campaign, and initiated the Italian campaign. Husky began on the 9th of July 1943 and ended on August 17th. Strategically, Husky achieved the goals set out for it by Allied planners. The Allies drove Axis air, land and naval forces from the island, and the Mediterranean sea lanes were opened for Allied merchant ships for the first time since 1941. The Italian leader, Benito Mussolini, was toppled from power in Italy and the way was open for the Allied invasion of Italy. The German leader cancelled a major offensive at Kursk after only a week, in part to divert forces to Italy, resulting in a reduction of German strength on the Eastern Front. The collapse of Italy necessitated German troops replacing the Italians in Italy and to a lesser extent the Balkans, resulting in 1/5 of the entire German army being diverted from the east to southern Europe, a portion that would remain until near the end of the war. So this is the description of the Operation Husky that saw the beginning of the end for the Axis. So the Allies are going to start invading Italy and are going to begin the conquest of the underbelly of the Axis. Because of these, Italy is going to lose and Germany is going to occupy some northern parts and so on and so forth. But this is not a history lesson, this is Hex of Steel. So as you can see, it's a huge map. We have a lot of options here and there's a huge map here. So the first thing we're going to do is to go and zoom in. Before going into the invasion of Sicily, we're going to see here Tunis, and we're going to analyze what we got here, which is pretty nice. Now the first thing we can see is that if we zoom in a little bit more, we're going to be able to see a little bit more of details. It's a very, very nice looking game, even though it's very simple. So of course, we enjoy these type of games. We can see how neat, as I go in and as I zoom in, how neat these units look. The first thing we can see here is that in Tunis we have British and American troops, and we can actually select our troops. Now, if I am to show you the invasion which is here, we can see and remember a little bit from the settings that it says that the blinking units are the units that you are about to use. Some sort of thing. So the blinking units means that we can move them. Of course, we can move, for example, units that are here in Bizerte. Let's say this unit here, this is a, you can see 2nd Light Anti-Air Battalion. This is an anti-air, and we can actually move this unit, but it's not off, or it's not in our interest to do that. So we can see at first glance, we see weather situation here, because here it says that bad weather chance for the turn is 10%. We see a lot of things here. This is a very, very nice, and I can see myself playing a lot of these. I don't know you, but just at first glance, I'm starting to see that this is a very interesting game. So here we have the big city of the capital here. We have some small towns here, and it's pretty neat how you can put troops into the actual boats and start the invasion. So here we see the Italians, and of course we have plenty of units. We have tanks, we have ships, battleships, we have planes, as you can see here. This is a reconnaissance squadron plane. This is our reconnaissance squadron plane, including this one here. And here we see the British. We saw the actual drawings, we see the actual pictures are pretty neat. So we have a lot of options here. We're going to be discovering these. I have been trying this a little bit just not to be completely in blank. But so far, I have, as far as I understand, this, as you can see here, this is the flag of the enemy flag, because we are against the Italians here and of course the Germans. If you see this flag with the golden border, this is a major victory point. So this Kanikati is a major victory point, and then we have the normal victory points that are this black town here, which is actually located in this Kanikati area. This is a major victory point. And if we push into Enna here, into the mountains, we're going to see another major victory point here in Catania. Here we have in Siraca, which is Syracuse. This is representing the port town of Syracuse. We have 2 victory points here, listed here, because of the actual explanation that I just did. Because of the actual explanation that I just gave. And that is so far. Now, if you click here, you can see over here how, now, if I move the mouse, is going to change to the tile that I am pointing at. But you can see here, for example, that it says that this is a road there, and there are a lot of information here to digest, obviously. Let's have a look at what we got in here. We have amount of money in reserve, and we're going to gain this in the next turn. This is the flag of the country that we're playing with. This is the available manpower. We have a max manpower, available manpower, fielded manpower, and information about the ground forces, the air forces, and the naval forces. So this reminds me a little bit of Hot Firen. Then we have objectives here. Of course, capture all major victory points. Now, I haven't mentioned the difference in between this version and the actual full-fledged game. So the demo version, you have the possibility to do exactly the same thing as the actual game, with the only exception that you have only 20 turns. So you're going to be able to play just up to 20 turns, and up to that point you cannot continue, which sounds pretty fair. And then you can repeat. Apparently that is the whole situation. Because this is the demo version, we have 20 turns to try to make the invasion of Sicily and try to get the most of this invasion. So here in objectives, we see that we have here, we're going to leave Kanikati, Agrigento, and Licata to the Canadians, because the Canadians are here in the coast of Licata. We're going to leave these 3 victory points to the Canadians. We're going to leave perhaps Syracuse to the British. And we're going to concentrate ourselves in Gela, Vittoria, and we're going to push into Catania. Perhaps we can encircle the Italians here when we push into here, and then encircle them and help and support the British. So this is what I'm going to try to do in these next 20 turns. As you can see here, this is the number, the turn number, and this is the date. This is the current turn and current date. Here you can see the number of major victory points. Now, of course, if you hit here the map, you're going to see the whole map that you can as well see if you zoom out from the actual main viewport. But here you see 70 major victory points. So it's huge. It's huge. We're going to be able at least to take 3 or 4 So that is the situation. Now, if you zoom out, you can see the actual map, which is pretty big and neat. And this map reminds me, actually, to the Rise of the Republic map for Rome, for those that have played that. It's funny how similar it is. So let's continue here with the things that we have. This is the research panel. Apparently you can research different stuff here that resembles as well to Hoi 4. It's very similar. You can go to Pontoon Bridge. You can see naval mines, land mines. I saw this in the quick scan that I did to the manual. Pretty interesting. Then you have diplomacy here. You have the allies, which is Great Britain, USA, Canada, and then you have the Axis with Croatia and Hungary. Now, Croatia and Hungary, it's interesting to note that they are going to be coming from here. And we are actually just at war. Well, actually, we are at war with all of them. Then we can click here to hide units to be a little bit more clear on the actual tiles. Here is the chat order of battle. Here we see all the units. You can search a unit, let's say Recon. So we can see all the Recon here. This is the 5th Armored Reconnaissance Battalion, which is here. And here we see the Reconnaissance Squadron, the 2 planes that we have. Interesting is that we have the auto supplies here. We have information here about hit points, rank, and experience. We see here redeploy the unit, and it says the unit will be sent back to the reserve, and you will be able to redeploy. Interesting fact right now that I'm understanding is that you have reserve system. You can sell the unit 50% of the price max scaled by the unit's HP. Low health priority, very interesting how this works. You can see infantry as well. Recon infantry, if you don't have, it's not going to show you. These are paratroop divisions. Very interesting. Now we understand that these are paratroop divisions. And for example, if we want to see here anti-tank or strategic bombers, fighters are these. So here is a good way to select your units in the order of battle, as far as I can see. In policies, we have doctrines, military tactics, units production, infrastructure, so on and so forth. So let's begin here with the first turn. Here we can see that we can open the store and we can buy units. Now, so far, I don't understand how you buy units because I cannot set a number here. It says basket and all of that, but I'm not sure how you do it. So then you have here the deploy bot units because we don't have. Then here you see show hide air ground units. So here we can see the air units, and if you click here you see just the ground units. Switch between graphics mode. This is interesting because it changes all the icons and all the pictures into NATO symbols. And here we have show and hide all type markers. We have interesting markers here. I think this is representing a bridge, this is representing a port, and a town. This is an airport. So pretty complete. We have a very complete wargame, very nice wargame so far. Okay, so what we're going to do, up to this point we have discovered everything that we see here. We have discovered here that we have show the playlist. You can see here as well that has something with music, and stuff like that. Here we can see the settings, and actually on settings we can surrender, we can import overlay, save and load. If you left click, you're going to see over here the history of the unit. So every single unit here is now, of course, commissioned in this day. Okay, so let's begin with the invasion and the Operation Husky. So the first thing, I will go to order of battle here, and I'm going to try to see the recon inventory, the recon units. So let's go to recon. It's very important. The first recon unit, we have the 4th Reconnaissance Squadron and the 6th Reconnaissance Squadron. I'm going to send the 1st Reconnaissance Squadron that is already here in this area. I'm going to send it to the place that we want to go. First, I want to send it here. So we're going to send the reconnaissance to Caltagirone. Now here apparently we have the option to shoot at this guy, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue flying into there. Now I heard the sound. It's pretty high sound settings. The UI is okay, the weather is okay, the units, the sound is pretty high. Let's see if we can save. Can make any save with the demo version. Good to know. So the other reconnaissance is this one, and I'm going to send this one to Catania. I'm going to zoom in the actual. We can still move this guy, isn't it? No. I'm going to zoom in here, and as you can see here, we see this bar. This is the morale. Now we see from all of them that we have green morale. The morale is color coded here. So you have yellow morale, gray morale, and red morale. If I remember correctly, the good morale, full morale is green. Then you have gray, which is normal. Yellow morale is going to indicate that there's a little bit of problems. And finally, red means that your unit has a very low morale. Then if you select each unit, you see the type of the unit here. And to get a little bit familiar, you can see that this is the unit type here. The good thing is that they have the names here, and I think you can change the name here. We're not going to do that because for historical purposes, we're going to maintain the names here. You can even, well, you cannot select. I thought for a second that you can select, you could select AI units, for example, here in Britain or something like that, but you cannot do that, sadly. Interesting, the only thing that you can see here in the right side, lower right side, you see the name of the enemy 131st Heavy Infantry Division of Italy. You can see the helmet, soldier helmet over the flag. That is indicating, I believe, that this is an infantry unit, even though we can see here that is a machine gun, and there's a lot of stats down there. There's even this one stat that you can see there. This number means entrenchment. So as far as I can understand, this has taken a lot of interesting mechanics from other games. What is the first game that comes into mind when you see the entrenchment symbol. Of course, Hoi 4. Continue here in the order of battle. We're going to take the 5th Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. And this is basically a reconnaissance ship. So I'm going to send the ship in here. Okay? I think it's going to be a good idea to see what is happening here. Well, so far, so good. So let's erase here and let's go and start taking the fighters. So the fighters, we have the 3rd Fighter Squadron. Now, if you click here, you can see the actual planes. That is the 3rd Fighter Squadron here. Now, I can see... there you go. You have fuel as well. You have ammunition. You have armor points and health. And even movement points. Now, if you go into the tiles, this is another important thing to understand. Because if you go into the tiles here, you see up here in the upper left corner, you see this information, the information of the tile that you are selecting. And over here, you can see this number. This is the, as far as I can understand, is the number of movement points that the unit is going to take by occupying that tile. So that's pretty interesting, because if you go again to the order of battle and you select the 3rd Fighter Squadron here, you can see here that this fighter squadron down here, it says movement points, it has 12 movement points. Let me move this guy, let me move this guy here. I have used 6 movement points. Okay, so let's continue. Let's take all the actual fighters and let's move them here. There we go. So we have the fighters here. And before continuing, we are going to select now the tactical bombers. We don't have strategic bombers, we have 3, which is the 2nd strategic bomber squadron here, here, and here. So let's go with the 2nd strategic bomber squadron and start bombing. Let's start bombing Gela, I believe. But we're going to bomb even Vittoria and here. So we are going to send this guy here. I think this is the other bomber. So we're going to send this guy here. Going to send this guy here. And this guy here. Okay, so now, what do we got here? Strategic bomber, tactical bomber, fighters. What are those? Ah, this is the paratrooper division, okay. So here we have the paratrooper division. We have one paratrooper here, another paratrooper here, and another paratrooper here. So good to see that we have those paratroopers there. So what we're going to do is to send the paratroopers up in here further, because what we want to do, okay, let me send the paratroopers here into these Where is the deployment? Deploy units. Quite interesting. Okay, I'm going to send those paratroopers here and here, including here. Now it's going to be interesting to see how you can actually deploy the units here. Okay, so now we have moved the planes. So what I'm going to do now is to go for ships. We're going to see here that we have two submarines. The second Gato class submarine we have here and one here. Now, I believe these guys are good against submarines and against other battleships and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is to put these two guys over here. So we can have a little bit of, let's see here, can move this guy here. See the island of Pantella here, which is a small island over here, and here we see Malta, occupied by the British, of course. What do we got here? Porter class destroyers. So these are the Porter class destroyers. So let's leave the destroyers there. Here we have heavy cruiser. The heavy cruiser allows us to shoot over Gela. So I think this is going to be a good thing. Now it says -2, so I'm going to shoot it here. Okay, quite interesting. So we shot there. And let's see here. We're not going to shoot Licata. We're going to shoot... I would like to shoot Vittoria or Gela again. So we can do here with Pensacola class heavy cruiser and shoot at this Gela as well. There's a lot of interesting stuff that is happening here. Okay, so now the Pensacola Lexington class carrier here. And then we have heavy cruiser here. Let's move the heavy cruiser over here. Perhaps we can do something interesting. And what do we got left? This guy. So let's shot at these troops in Gela. -35 it says. Okay, you can see here, down here, the 45th Engineers Division. We have made 66 damage to these guys. So now, let me position here the anti-air. To do that, we're going to see here the anti-air. Here we have anti-air, anti-air. I'm going to zoom out just to see where are the anti-air actually located. Okay, so our anti-air is located in the mainland. Artillery-wise, we have 2nd Armored Light Artillery Battalion located over here. We have here, we have more artillery battalion here, battalions. So 2nd Armored Light Infantry. So I think the infantry, the anti-tanks, have anti-tank here. We have a lot of tanks over here. Look, we have one tank here ready to deploy, another tank ready to deploy here. We have tanks over there as well. Okay, so you can transfer the unit to any of your allies. Interesting. So we are going to unload the tank in here. What else do we have? More tanks here. It's going to be interesting. Now the tanks here, we have landed the tanks in this side. So I have spent my movement points by moving here. What do we got here? Another tank. And okay, this tank is going to be sent here. Okay, and now we can focus with the infantry. The engineer division here, we have engineer divisions. One engineer division here. And another engineer division here. More engineer here. We have as well 3rd AT Infantry 43rd divisions. We have a lot of infantry here. Okay, let's deal with the Ranger division that is located in the mainland. The Rangers are located here apparently. This as well. Here we have engineer divisions that I'm going to unload later. So let's go and focus with the 7th Heavy Infantry Division here, which is located here. Okay, the 18th, this one. Let's place that one there. The majority of the troops are located in here. Okay, we have here 20th Light Infantry Division. Let's move these guys here. And this is the... Okay, so we have finished with the infantry divisions. And now what I'm going to do is definitely go for the tanks. Let's move a couple of tanks here. I don't want to waste. Okay, tanks were okay. Anti-tank. I don't see any tanks here, and I don't think it's going to be needed. So I'm going to move it here. And artillery, I'm going to move it here. Just to support the landings in Vitoria. Artillery battalion here. Just pushing here, it's okay. There you are. And finally the anti-air, which we don't have here. Okay. So up to this point, everything has been done here. We can use these guys. This is the engineer division, so we can put a little bit of engineers here. This as well is light infantry division. We're going to unload these engineers here. These are heavy artillery battalion that goes here. Medium tank battalion. Pennsylvania class battleship. Let's move it here. And there we are. So I think for positioning we are okay. We have moved our pieces. And we're going to be ready to the attack. So let's get on with it. So let's begin with this engineer division. First, I'm going to shoot with the light infantry division on the boats to this unit. And this. And then we're not going to do anything with this. Now let's see. We can shoot with the tanks to the guys in Gela. I think this is going to destroy them. Proceed to overrun their enemy. Let's say yes. So we have captured Gela, I believe. So now Gela has been captured. So we can see that we have taken the first victory point. And now we're going to concentrate our attack with the 18th Heavy Infantry Division against these guys. So now we have dealt quite a fair amount of damage to these guys, which are pretty much a defensive position located in both places. Even though Vittoria is not a victory point, it's going to be a very nice place to capture. So far so good. I think there's no other units that we can move. I believe, oh, this one we can. Has the infantry division. So let's land them. And we can move the destroyers, but the destroyers are going to stay there. Why not? Can we move troops from here? I don't think so. Now, it's going to be very interesting for me to know how we can load troops into ships, and if we can clearly move this into a ship, which I can clearly change transport mode. Click several times to cycle through all types of train, ship, plane. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's the way. I have found how we do it. Great. We can even do planes. Interesting. Infantry division, Marines division. Wow. And the transport mode, I think it's going to be good to know. The paratrooper division here. Drop paratroopers on the unit style. Interesting. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Of course. Great. Great. Super great. So now I can shoot at these guys. But we're not going to shoot at these guys. So I am pretty impressed by this and the complexity that this thing presents to me. I'm used to play very complex games, but this has enough complexity for me to start beginning to fall in love with this amazing title. I think we are done with all the situation here. Now the whole thing here is quite interesting because we have taken this and then we're going to push up. We're going to leave this to the Canadians, and the right flank is going to be for the British. We're going to push into Caltagiorne, and push into here. Now I have noticed that I cannot see the morale of the enemy. Pretty interesting. So let's hit here the next turn. Now I can see, I'm just going to do a parenthesis here because in terms of the UI I can see that there's a lot of inspiration from a lot of grand strategy. So for example, here we see the end turn or next turn, which is an hourglass, which is pretty similar to what Total War games have here. And then here it resembles the grand strategy Paradox games. I don't know, that's at least how I perceive it. So now let's next. Okay, now I can hear a little bit of a storm. This is the last turn summary. Great Britain had 2 kills. Italy lost 3. And this is the money earned. Now I can hear the weather. Very, very high. Apparently, this line is representing the invasion, but for me, I don't see it. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, I see it. So it's this line, and now it's raining. Bad weather. Chance for the next turn, it's a little bit high. So this is the second turn, so we're going to push. We're going to use our reconnaissance squadron here to see a little bit of Catania here, but we see a 3rd strategic bomber squadron here that we don't want to mess with as of right now. So I'm just going to move this guy here. Let's try to see what is happening here. I think now this is interesting because of the rain, I believe. Now this is just an assumption that because of the rain, because it's raining, I can clearly see less when I send the actual reconnaissance. So here we have the other reconnaissance squadron, and what I'm going to do is to send the reconnaissance squadron here. Because I don't want the Germans. I can see a heavy infantry division here with machine gun over here. I don't want the Germans to surprise us when we start pushing to Catania. So again, in order of battle, I'm going to go for reconnaissance here. Now I can do this and then check this because I remember that I clicked here, misclicked actually. So now here we can. So I have moved these guys. And now here we have the other recon. Now, this recon here. This recon here is a 5th Armor Reconnaissance Battalion. Now, I'm already loving this thing. This is pretty deep and heavy in terms of ambience. I can feel the ambience with this Wargame. It's very neat. So, okay, here we have in Modica we have the 136th Light Infantry Division of Italy, and here we can see the 1st Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. We have the 5th Armored Reconnaissance Battalion here. Actually, what I'm going to do is to try to see if there's something here in Ragusa. So, okay, for some reason, by moving this guy here, I have opened a lot of information. I know, I was just confused about this. Now there's a lot of, I can see in this tile, it's a village. I see smoke. What does that mean? I don't have a clue. Okay, so now, what we're going to do, if you remember the fighters here, we have the fighters here, and we see here the 2nd Fighter Squadron here, for the Italians. So what I'm going to do is to send my fighters to help those guys there. Because I don't see any logic in sending them here, because actually we have here a strategic bomber from, this is a strategic bomber from the English. So I'm going to send my fighters here because that's an enemy plane. So let's send this fighter here. Let's see if we can send. Okay, fighter squadron here. So let's see the order of battle here. I'm going to try to find the actual tactical bombers, the strategic bombers here. Let me send this to Ragusa. There's no one here. Let's say we want this guy here, but still there's no one there. I don't see the way that I can shoot at this. This is a tactical bomber squadron from the Germans. Now, for some reason, I cannot bomb. Perhaps I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so let's go for the artillery. Apparently we cannot unload them. Okay, let me push into... Here we have this guy with 77, I think. I think we can clear. I see this guy here. It's making me nervous, this thing here. This tactical bomber squadron here. And reconnaissance squadron from Italy. Another infantry division here. So perhaps we can start moving there. Here we have another light infantry division. I'm pretty sure we can move. And let's push this guy. Let's push these guys here, so I can send this other infantry division here. This is the heavy infantry division. So let's destroy these guys. Can move here. Light artillery. This is a good artillery. I think we can hit this guy or this guy. I'm gonna try to take this first. So we're going to move these over here. And this guy here. We're going to unload here a tank battalion. Which is actually a medium tank. Another artillery. Here we're going to approach with more artillery. So I'm going to move the tank in here. And pretty much with this artillery putting here in Gela. And I'm gonna move the anti-tank over here. And this is the medium tank battalion that could be moving in here. Okay, great. Now what do we have here? We have a Baltimore here. Now it's time for the bombardment for the heavy cruisers. So let's bombard this one here. I think bombardment for Morica is going to be okay because we have a reconnaissance here. Let's concentrate bombardment in here. Let's do this one. And now in here, let's do this one. Did we use this one? I think we're going to move this one here. This one is okay in here. These are the class destroyers. Okay, I just misclick here. Okay, let's move the submarines here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to see, as you can already discovered. Okay, I don't want any surprises from here, so I know that in this area we have Marsala here, So I don't want any surprises there, so I'm going to send these guys here. These are the destroyers. So just to stop any advance from here, if it's possible, if they have, actually. Okay, so now pretty much that's it. Now I'm going to concentrate on the attacks here. Now let's remember that we have paratroopers here. What I'm going to do is to push my paratroopers up here in the hill. So I think we can do a little bit more damage here. Okay, let's send this guy here to Ragusa. Hopefully the British are going to push in this side, because Siraca is pretty much have fallen up to this point. So yeah, what I'm going to do is to move these guys here. So with these paratroopers, I'm going to make sure that these guys don't run away. Now, we still have planes here. Don't run away here. Okay, so with this guy, I'm going to advance with this medium tank battalion. I think we can clear these guys here. Let's support the Canadians here. Hopefully this guy is going to deal with this. So let's shoot at these guys. Now, as far as I understand, to overrun the enemy means to occupy this tile. Now, by doing this, I have discovered another unit here, which for some reason is a little bit depleted, at least the HP. Interesting. What I'm going to do is to push with this. I'm going to push with the engineers into here. I think here we can expect some sort of abilities here. Now with heavy artillery we can still shoot, even though we just unloaded the heavy artillery battalion here. So perhaps we can destroy these guys. Okay, with these guys we can move here, I think. These guys are tank battalion, so I'm going to send the tank battalion first. Just send this guy here into the woods. Now, I don't know at what extent moving a medium tank battalion or tank battalion into the woods or into a tile that is a thick forest is going to affect the movement. Now let's use the light artillery battalion here. I can shoot at whatever I want here. Let's destroy this guy first. So I'm going to overrun here in the 2nd Medium Tank Battalion. Let's see now what we can do. This Engineer Division. Okay, let's shoot at these guys. I think we missed. Now, let's take into account that we have lost a little bit of HP as well. Okay. I can shoot at these guys from behind, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to abstain. I think that's it. We don't have blinking units. So let's hit next turn. What just happened here? Oh, they destroyed here. They captured Siraca. And now it's Canada. Okay, now Great Britain killed 3. Okay. And now we are back without rain. Now this one has low health. It says... Wait, where is it? Where is the heavy infantry 19th heavy infantry division? Okay. Let's see, order of battle. Let's search for the 19th. We don't have 19th infantry division. Interesting. 19th. 18th. This is the 18th, okay. 19th, I think it is. I don't see them. It's telling me here, it's this one, the one that has low health. Oh yeah. So it select this one. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to undo that if it's possible. No, I don't think so. Okay, let's see what we can do. Entrenchment. So we're going to, let me see if I, it's going to be a good idea to attack this one here. What is this, the medium tank battalion? So I'm going to push in here. Great, and here we have the 5th Armor Reconnaissance Battalion. I can shoot at these guys here. Let's destroy this one. Now let's see, I can shoot at this one, of course, and destroy it. We can occupy these. This one can shoot at these guys. Okay, let me see. Let's push these into here. Now it says clearly here that we're not going to deal any damage here. So let's push here. Let's unload the artillery. Now the artillery again. There we go. 14 is better than nothing. And then unload these guys here. That's the medium tank. Okay. And here, okay, I just wanted to unload the armored anti-tank battalion here, but never mind. So these guys we can't send. It's a little bit interesting how this light infantry division can move through here and not up. Unless this is implying that we're moving further from the actual place that we possess. Okay. So we're going to send this engineer division here. Let's do damage here. And let's shoot with the paratroopers. Let's take that. We have taken Caltagirone. Good. And now let's move here. With the medium tank battalion, let's push. Let's push in here. These guys we're gonna push here. What is this? Supplies. Now, in terms of supplies, fuel, ammunition, armor points, health points. It's going to be interesting to note the supply thing. Okay, let's push with these guys. Now, this guy's 100. Let's move these guys here. Let's push with these guys here. Now, I think we're okay here. Let's try to push here. Let's see. 15. I'm not going to attack that. Can attack here, but it's too low. Now 4 is different. Let's do 4 damage at least. Now we can attack with this guy. You know what? We can deal 21 with these guys here. Okay, great. Let's capture this. Now let's move. Let's stay here. Now let's see what we can do with the planes. So now we can fight with this guy. Okay, that's good. Let's move. What is this? A German plane? Okay, let's shoot at the German plane here. Oh, that was close. There you go. Bye-bye. Okay, now let's move this guy here. Let's encircle this guy. possible. So we're going to encircle this fighter squadron, the first fighter squadron for the Germans. What else do we got? I love how you go zoom out and then the blinking units appear. Okay, let's see. This is the reconnaissance. Let's follow here. Oh, what we got here? We got the 1st Medium Tank Battalion, the Germans. Let's see what they got here. More Germans and Italian coming down. The 143rd Heavy Infantry Division of the Italians with a MG division. And here we have the, well, actually it's not a division. How many? A division is a lot of soldiers, but this is representing the whole division with this MG. It's not logical to have a whole division just with machine guns. So here, but it's representing a bunch of soldiers actually. So here we have the 2nd Heavy Tank Battalion. Okay, now let's have a look here. Here we see reconnaissance battalion for the Italians, more German troops here, but that's another story. It's not our jurisdiction here. We need to push in here. I think we're going to be able to take our objective, which is Catania, pretty much in time. Yeah, at least is the objective that we have set for this video. Now, why the hell is, what the hell is happening here? Why is he smoke here? It's a little bit intriguing what is happening here. So we're going to move the bomber squadrons. I think we're going to help out in here. So we can send this guy here. Let's bomb. Now we actually bombed one division here. Okay, let's see. We have enemies here. Oh, actually we have. This guy is about to, no, it's not. Okay, let's bomb these guys here. Okay, I think we have finished. Now let's continue moving here. Okay, let's end the turn. Now Canada killed one unit. It's pretty interesting how the Italians here in the area of Ragusa, in the southeast part of Sicily, they decided to go and attack the the British invasion. They're more afraid of the British. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's okay, we don't have more airplanes here. I think these guys destroy the airplanes with, I don't know what, but they destroy them. Let's unload the anti-tank battalion over here. Okay, now we're going to move these guys over here. Oh, we can shoot at this guy. Why not? Let's move this guy here. Finish this one. That way we're going to help the British. Okay, so we're moving our cruisers to the east to help with Catania. I think the British are going to take Catania first. But there's a tank division here approaching. So now what I'm going to do is to see if I can support. What is this? At least we can shoot at this and help. What is this? Anti-tank. At least we can help these guys. So let's see if the submarines can do something. Here in Siraca we see one engineer division. Okay, I think they can do very well here in this area, Kanikati. So now let's see what we can do here. If we can help these guys here. Can the British deal with these guys? I think they are pretty much well here. Infantry division. This is a reconnaissance battalion. So I'm going to send this guy here. Wow, that is interesting now. Because of the roads, they can move further. That's pretty nice. Yeah, so if we put these guys in the roads, the medium tank battalion here, then we can move them better. Great, let's put them here. Let's proceed to overrun the enemy here. And then let's move. We can do a lot of damage here. Okay, we take that. We hit this. And then this at the end, we decided to do that. Now you can see here, now this is very interesting. Well. Apparently, I'm still intrigued about this, the reason why there's, because we bombed here? Wow, pretty interesting. Because they captured Morica? I don't understand. Okay, if someone knows why is the reason this village is like on fire or something, if someone knows, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so now we are pushing here, helping the British in this area. I think we are destroying these guys here. Let's take Ragusa here. These guys can destroy these guys. Let's move this guy here. Let's send that guy. we're going to send, there are no roads here, as you can see. So let's send, this is the tank battalion. So we're going to send the tank battalion here. Hopefully the next turn we're going to be able to move further here. And then here, and with this, we move here. I think we can destroy this guy here. We have here first reconnaissance squadron. Let's move these guys here. Now the fuel is important to take into account. Now look at this guy. Even these guys have, light infantry have fuel. Interesting. Let's send them here. Now, wait a second here. Order of battle. What do we got here? 16th Infantry Division. Okay, let's see. 16th Infantry Division. If this is on, at the end of your turn, this unit will be auto-resupplied. If it's not on, how this is going to be resupplied? Okay, let's turn it on. Let's see what happens at the end of the turn. Okay, now. What is this? Medium tank, and this is a fighter squadron. Okay. Let's push these guys. Let's push these guys here because I want to make a defensive line here. So let's see what these guys are going to do. Here we have the reconnaissance. You have more Germans, a little bit of iron from the Italians. Okay, let's see here what we can do. Let's send these guys here. Hopefully these guys will help with the Germans in the other side. These are the fighters. I'm going to send against the strategic bomber. No, that's British. Let's see, fighters. Can we fight these fighter squadron? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Destroyed pretty quickly. Here we have the bomber squadron. Can bomb here. And then to help these guys here. And that's it. Let's see how this guy is pushed here. So let's see. Wow, this was a very nice turn. Okay, so basically the Germans are reinforcing Catania. Apparently the British have decided that Catania has to fall and they're going to take it from us. We have to take it. So let's do it. How do we do it? We can move these guys here, push them here. Now, in terms of supplies here, we have... Okay, these guys are about to lose the actual fuel. Let's see here. 73 fuel. Okay, let's leave these guys here. I'm going to leave them here. So let's send these guys here. We're going to move these guys. They are going to stay there. Just move these guys here. And hopefully we're going to be able to attack with this tank. So now let's see this guy. In order of battle, I remember that I hit here. And now this guy has 75. Perhaps it's going to be useful to get the 4th medium tank battalion here and the 2nd medium tank battalion. So it's going to be the tank, the 4th medium tank battalion and the 2nd medium tank battalion. Hit these auto supplies. Just to see what is this meaning. Okay, now with these guys we can go straight in here. Well, this is reconnaissance, it's good. I think we can send the bombers there and take it. So let me see. This is the reconnaissance. Can hit this guy. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, let's see if we can bomb here. Where are the enemies here? Okay, what happened here? Ah, we don't have bullets, ammunition. There's no ammunition for these guys. Interesting. Good to know. These guys have bullets. Can I shoot at this? Yeah, I can shoot. Okay, let's see. Yeah, perhaps here. No, it's not shooting. This one is not shooting as well. Finally, we can establish here a very nice line, defensive line here. So we're going to put engineers are okay there. Gonna push these guys here with the going to put this medium tank battalion here. If they want to push here, they're not going to be able to do that. And then this guy, anti-tank battalion. Okay, we're going to push with this. And finally, the fighters here. We don't see any airplanes here. Ah, here we see a bomber squadron. Let's help our friends, the Canadians. Now, hopefully we have ammunition here. Okay. So let's end the turn, and hopefully the British are not going to take us the victory point here. Great Britain killed 4 in this turn. Wow. It was heavy. Now we have here... I don't think we resupply here. 19 of 29 here. Fuel. Look at this. And here we don't have enough. I'm pretty sure we're going to be left without fuel when we reach there. At least we have a lot of fuel with this. So now let's see what we do. Okay, what I'm going to do here... This light artillery battalion has enough fuel. Okay, let's move these guys here. These are the cruisers. Now this guy is about to fall. Hopefully we're going to reach there with these tanks. Okay, let's move this tank here. This guy here. Fighter squadron. I don't think it's going to be a good idea to do this. Okay. Okay, now let's see. What do we got here? Destroyer. There we go. Victory point for us. Let's see if we can do this. Where's the plane here, actually? Never mind. Artillery. Okay. See if we can deal damage to this. Oh no, these are Canadians. I don't know why I thought they were Italians. Okay, never mind. Okay, so far so good. Let's see what happens. Okay, these guys are still alive. I'm pretty impressed with these guys. Okay, let's see if we can push in here. Ah, now I can see these guys cannot move into the river. That's interesting. Okay, fair enough. This is artillery. Let's move artillery into this position. Okay. We see approaching here a medium tank battalion. So let's attack them here. And it's down. Here we see a fighter squadron. So I'm going to take my squadron of fighters. Send them here. Oh, we were intercepted here. Good. Another one here. A bomber here. That has no ammunition. Fighter squadron. Okay, where's the other bomber? Let's see if we can bomb that guy in Catania. No, we can't. We can't because the English have bombers there. Interesting. Okay, the place that interests me is this. The English are desperately trying to take this. They are almost there to take it. So let's see if we can move further. I think we can't. Sad. So let's see if we can move these guys here. There you go. Finally, this guy. Okay, and now we can attack this tank here, why not? But I'm going to push back. Well, this guy's pretty good. The bomber here can reach here and destroy this guy, finally. If it wasn't for my misclick, but oh, can I do an undo movement? No, I can't. Okay, we were intercepted. So now I can fight this. That was the reconnaissance guy. Interesting. Let's encircle these guys here. I have this reconnaissance guy as well. They finally took it. So the British took Catania instead of us, and basically that is it. So several points to talk about before wrapping up. The game looks amazing and it feels good. It has a lot of interesting mechanics. I can see that the mechanics were borrowed from different other games, grand strategy games. This was Hex of Steel. Hopefully you enjoyed the game as much as I enjoyed. This was Victus. See you in the next one.